so much.
All right, let's get more reaction right now from the Democratic Congressman, Jake Auchincloss of Massachusetts. Congressman, good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Man, what a week. Right after the vote, you actually tweeted that the next time Republicans claim that they're tough on crime and the party of national security, remember that they just acquitted a former president who incited a violent mob that tried to overthrow the government and murdered a police officer in the process. Your tweet overnight. Did you expect more Republicans to cross the party lines or the Trump lines and vote to convict?
Over the last 4 years, counting on political courage from the GOP has been a losing bet. So I didn't expect anything. For the first time in my life, I think I agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is Donald Trump's party.
Well, Congressman, on the witness question, we just heard Mariana Sotomayor report that it was basically decided that they didn't want to have witnesses come in because it would make the trial go way too long. People want to just move forward, focus on President Biden's agenda. Do you think that they gave in here? Do you wish that maybe they would have pushed a little harder on that? Was that a mistake?
Congressman Raskin Neguse argued a case for the ages. The American people saw the compelling evidence. The highest ranking GOP member in the country called this a disgraceful dereliction of duty. The case was made. Going forward, there are other avenues for accountability, including the 14th Amendment, to ensure that Donald Trump can never run for president again. And I think we should pursue that. But this case was argued, and this case was a slam dunk. The focus here needs to be on the fact that the majority of the GOP is still too scared to do what is right.
You mentioned the 14th Amendment, which many people, as you said, are calling for. But Congressman, the Speaker, Pelosi, says that she's against the possibility of actually censuring Trump, calling it a little slap on the wrist, in her words. Do you agree with that? Or what do you think should actually happen now?
Well, I strongly agree with the Speaker that the first order of business was an impeachment, because this was an impeachable offense. You can't incite insurrection against the United States government. Impeachment has now carried through, and we need to explore other options available to us, including a fact-finding. This can never happen again, and that this worst president in American history does not have the power to hold office again. It's a threat to national security.
We heard Mitch McConnell yesterday on the floor making an impassioned speech saying that it's not over yet for Trump, opening up the possibility of criminal and civil courts. Do you think here McConnell is trying to have his cake and eat it too? I mean, he voted to acquit on judicial grounds.
Yeah, it was a cowardly way out. The right thing to do was clear and apparent. The evidence was put forward in front of the entire American people. This should have been a 100-0 conviction. I can't speak for what the GOP is going to do now or going to do next, though. What I can speak for is what Democrats are going to do, what I'm going to do for my district. We are going to crush this virus. We're going to get kids back to school. We're going to get people back to work, including in industries like offshore wind and life sciences manufacturing that are good, green jobs and important for the 21st century. And as we reflect on the 3rd anniversary of the Parkland shooting, we are going to end this plague of gun violence in this country by banning assault weapons and by requiring safe storage laws for handguns.
Congressman, I do want to play what the House impeachment manager, Congresswoman Madeleine Dean, said in her closing arguments for you.
If we don't set this right and call it what it was, the highest of constitutional crimes by the President of the United States, the past will not be past. The past will become our future. History has found us. I ask that you not look the other way.
The past will become our future. I'm curious, you're a new dad, you have a young child. When your child is of age, what will you tell him about the event that you went through there on the Capitol and now the impeachment and acquittal of Donald Trump?
That it was a dark day for our democracy, but that it did not derail our democracy, that ultimately we in Congress did what was right and necessary, and that with the leadership of President Biden and with congressional Democrats, we put America back to work, that we crushed this virus, and that we restored the integrity of government.
Congressman, before we let you go, you had mentioned that you're not entirely sure what is next for the GOP. There's been talk even of a third party, some more moderate Republicans looking potentially even to start a party of their own. What would the future of that look like in terms of Democratic politics?
I can't speak to the machinations of the GOP and the extremist right wing. I know that from my seat, they're off to a very bad start by giving someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene a standing ovation in the House chamber. I hope that they become a serious party of governance once again, that they can join Democrats in boosting vaccination supplies, in reopening the schools, in passing an infrastructure package that's going to create good jobs and improve our transportation foundations for the 21st century economy. We have real serious work to do as a country right now, and we need all hands on deck. And so to the extent that they are going down a rabbit hole of QAnon, they are doing what's worst for the country, and I think they're going to spell their own electoral demise.
All right, Congressman Jake Auchincloss, thank you for joining us earlier this morning. We appreciate it.